Hello! Thanks for stopping by. It's Saturday, May 16th, 2020. Now, I'm sure you've noticed a little get up here: keyboard, guitar, sunglasses. Uh oh. Is this guy about to play a song? Well, listen, it's only the intro of a song, so settle down. And there's a good reason for it. And not just because today's movie is The Blues Brothers. Last night at work, it was my very last night there for an entire month because we got furloughed. Yeah, I couldn't be more excited. Oh man, an entire month off of work. So, listen, there was only one song that was on everyone's mind as we left the factory this morning. The sun beat down favorably upon our faces and the wind swept back our hair, and we were all reminded of a time long, long ago when the doors to the schoolyard opened and all the children flooded out for the summer because school was out. That's it. No more. Don't censor me, Facebook. No, school is out. Just for a month. It was a scheduled furlough. I knew about it before I started this video series, so it'll be kind of interesting. You'll get the first half of the video series with no sleep because I worked all night and came home, and then the second half will be full sleep because I'll just sleep all night and do the videos. So who knows? Maybe my brain will be fully percolated. Maybe I won't be creative at all. We haven't tried this experiment of sleep in the darkness hours for about 2 years now, so it'll be interesting. Yeah, so at the end of May, I'm going to take a little break from social media for about a month and then come back on with some other stuff. Like, I might post every once in a while, but I'll come back on with some new video series, and there'll probably be something weekly, and it's going to be more on YouTube and my website and then a few other platforms, but I'm trying to kind of move off Facebook and stuff, so enjoy these next, 15, 16 videos here if you're a Facebook follower. So today's title is The Peace Truckers. So I want to talk about this today and over the next 2 Saturdays because those are going to be the days where I talk about the big road trips I've had, especially this one from Florida out to Arizona that landed me in Las Vegas. And then, Fridays will be the party days, and we'll talk about stories from Las Vegas and different places. So Friday and Saturday just kind of be stories. And kind of like yesterday, I have to set the table a little bit for you for this first one, so we might not get too far. And I left this here because I want to play you out with a little Blues Brothers thing that I wrote earlier. I don't know if it's going to be any good or not. It kind of sounds like their intro music, and then I just added some stuff just for the fun of it. So let me see where the time is here. I got to check it out. Oh man, we're doing real good today, about 3 minutes. So, the Peace Truckers. When I first moved down to Florida, I had a job up here in Pennsylvania, and I quit that job very abruptly, and it's something I always felt bad about, but there was a guy who had an apartment, and I'd been talking to him. He's like, yeah, man, I can give you the apartment, but you got to be down here by Tuesday. So I'm like, all right, I'll be there by Tuesday. So I didn't really have 2 weeks to give in a 2 weeks notice, and I knew I was done, and I was like, well, I got to go back. I'm gone. I always felt bad about it, but hey, that's what happens sometimes. Life doesn't give you a chance to leave, 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that. Sometimes you just got to get going and take the opportunity that's given to you. So I went down there and I got a writing job real quick, the one that I told you about before. So that was nice to kind of sustain me. And then I got a job working events, NCAA football games at some of the biggest SEC cities in the country. Gainesville and Tuscaloosa, and Athens, Georgia. We even went to where the Seminoles played in Tallahassee. Like, they're an ACC school, but every Saturday we went to a different college football game, and it was a great experience. It was so much fun building tents and wiring all the lighting and stuff like that, and then selling everything and tearing it down. We were kind of like carnies in a way. Like, we would just go for the weekend and build everything, put all the merchandise up, sell everything we could, take it down, and then go back to the store. And anything that we couldn't sell on the road, we sold at our home store that was in Jacksonville Beach. But the road trip that's really just crazy is the one that we took from, it was like the end of that football year, 2015 and 2016. We were following Alabama because they were winning, and they ended up beating Clemson in the national championship that year. Spoiler alert. I'm just kidding. So we went up to the SEC championship in Atlanta from Jacksonville, Florida. Stayed there for a couple weeks. Then went out to Dallas, Texas. Stayed out there for maybe 2 or 3 weeks for the Cotton Bowl. and then went to Arizona and stayed out there for 2 or 3 weeks for the national championship. Essentially, if Alabama kept winning, we were just going to keep following them because we had a lot of Alabama merchandise and a lot of fans in our home area were Alabama fans. So that road trip was just unreal, man. Like, the stuff that happened in Atlanta, like the homeless people in Atlanta are so aggressive, and like, you know, just the amount of work that we did there, and the crazy stuff that we saw at the Waffle Houses and the Motel 6s, and like, that was just one part of it. And then across the country, we traveled through Winter Storm Goliath in a van where the lights went out, and it's just this rickety old van, and it was terrifying to be honest. There were tornadoes and funnel clouds in front of us and hail bearing down on the van, and like I said, the lights are flickering like on the outside, and the inside didn't even work at all. And just we had to keep going because there were tornadoes behind us too. I mean, I'm going to get more into detail about these stories, but I know I still have to tell you why we were called the Peace Truckers. I'm getting there. So through Texas, so much stuff happened in Texas. It snowed in Dallas. We got robbed in Dallas. We had to rebuild our sites because we had 2 sites down there. We had to put plywood down, and somehow we made it through there. And then our truck broke down outside of El Paso, Texas. We were stranded in between El Paso and Odessa for 2 or 3 days. I don't even know. I mean, there's so much crazy stuff that happened just in those 2 or 3 days. Then we got out to Arizona, where it's supposed to be a desert. I mean, there is a desert, but it rained like crazy and flooded out our tent. And the funniest thing was, anybody who knows me knows I used to, take care of the softball fields in my hometown, and cleaning out the water out of this tent was just like that. I'm telling the other guys, no, we got to get brooms and squeegees. This is just like cleaning off puddles from second base. It's ridiculous. Look at these puddles. I'm just cleaning them off, and I'm like, man, I wish somebody hit me a ground ball. But no, we're out in the middle of Arizona doing the exact same thing when it's supposed to be dry as a desert. So much crazy stuff happened on this trip. And when I first got down there, and I met up with the Peace Trucker, we're going to call him, the guy who coined that phrase. We were road trip buddies. We stayed in every hotel room together and rode on every road trip together through every city that we went to the whole time across the country. So we got to know each other real well, and we really, I don't know, felt like we were the Blues Brothers, and he kind of felt that way too, because we just, we had each other's backs. We were on the road. But very early on, he got into traffic and was weaving through, and somebody cut us off. Something happened. Horns were laid on, and everybody's angry in traffic, and no cars were hit. Nothing happened. But I was in the passenger seat of this truck, and I was about to flip somebody off, about to just flip a big old bird. Well, the Peace Trucker, he goes, no, dude, don't do that. You have no idea how hard it is to drive a semi truck. Don't flip anybody off. Just give him the peace sign or something. And I was like, that is a really good point. I kind of acting like a douchebag there because I have no idea what it's like to drive a truck. I shouldn't be flipping people off. That's your job. If you're the one driving, you felt that he deserved it, then you go ahead and flip him off. But no, he said, well, let's just give him the peace sign. So we just started giving people the peace sign, like no matter what. Like if they made contact with us, eye contact with us, just hey, peace sign. What's up, man? Like we're friendly because. This guy, the Peace Trucker, he was only like 20 or 21 when he was driving across the country, and he just got his license to drive trucks, and so like he was kind of new, and I guess it's kind of a profound thing to realize that, hey, I might not be as experienced at this as other people, and I don't want to get mad at him. I might be the one having trouble, and then to look at this guy in the passenger seat and say, hey, dude, you don't drive these things, settle down, So ever since then, that's how I've been giving people the peace sign, and it kind of does have a little bit of a profound effect on you. Like, I don't know, why would you flip somebody the bird? I'm not saying I haven't done it since then, but just, I've thought about things in a different way, and let me check the time again here. All right, so we're about 9 minutes, so I got to play you out here. But I'm going to get into those real crazy stories in a little bit, like over the next 2 Saturdays, and I don't know how much I'll be able to tell, but I'm going to tell you a bunch of them. So listen. Let me try and play you out here. I don't know if this is going to sound any good or not. You got to put on shades. It's required if you're going to be playing music. That's what other musicians have told me. I don't know for sure. I'm not a musician. I'll just do this as a hobby. So let's see here. We're going to put this old capo on. We go up here. We got to set the tone. Find ourselves something cool. Yep, that sounds good. We're going to have to set the beat. Go down here to the beat. Set this. Alright. I think we're ready to boogie. Let's go. Alright. A little bit. Now let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Woo! gotta change the tone. Change the key here. Hold on, hold on. Which one we're gonna press? Yeah. Alright, here we go. Now we get into it. See, this thing spins. I'm not Travis Barker. I'm not gonna go upside down, but I can spin if I need to. Alright, here we go.